New music from Rena Gwynn. Is This Now is Rena's album, and we heard These Days. And opening up that set, the latest album from the Rough and Tumble, Only This Far is their new album, and we listened to Homesick. This is folk and acoustic music. My name is Michael Stock, and I'm in the studio now with Low Ground. I apologize. It's not low down. It's low ground, and that's because I'm not familiar with you guys. This first time you're here, and you seem like a young group. How long is the who's the spokesperson for the band? You don't even have a spokesperson.
Amanda's got the prettiest voice.
Yes, she does.
I can speak.
Okay, we're in the studio with Amanda, Patty, and Nico of Low Ground. And Amanda, hi.
Hi.
When did Low Ground become a band?
So we've been a band since about July 2020 was when we started. We formed just out of the pandemic restrictions. When they let up a little bit, we got a gig. Locally, it was kind of just a jam gig, and then we partnered up with our old fiddle player Tom Colino, and then just started doing trio, and then eventually we added our banjo player Isaac Taylor, our mandolin player Trevor Klutz, and then eventually Patty switched over to fiddle, and we've just been going ever since.
So it's bigger than a trio?
Yes,
It is.
we have a full 5-piece band.
Oh, I see. Okay. And
Yeah.
you're saying hometown. Where's hometown?
Hometown, well, my hometown is Boynton Beach, Florida, but we're kind of spread out all over. Right now, I live in Boca. We have people in West Palm, Jupiter Farms, and then all the way up to Vero. So we're a little spread out.
And Low Ground, is it a bluegrass band that you started?
We kind of flirt with bluegrass, We're very heavily inspired by bluegrass, as well as, just kind of like rock, folk, jazz, what else? Jam,
Some gypsy music.
Gypsy
We
music.
get down.
pretty much anything.
We cover a lot of ground.
Anything acoustic and fun.
I'm speaking with Amanda and also Patty as well. Patty,
Yes.
Patty, that's Irish name,
It
right?
is very Irish.
Were you born here?
I have my own day. Yes, I'm a Florida native, actually.
And you switched to fiddle? What was your first instrument?
Oh, I play all the string instruments. The bowed ones are my favorite. I play some cello too, some mandolin.
Is your family musically inclined?
My dad plays. He plays all the string instruments, same kind of thing. He likes Delta stuff, slide guitar, Cajun music, stuff like that.
So you've been playing quite a long time.
Yes, 20 years.
How many bands have you been in?
A lot. I'm in a few right now too. I've been in polka bands and Irish bands and Renaissance festivals, all sorts of things.
Can I? Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
28.
Okay. And is the music that's your life?
It is my life.
Okay. Amanda, is
Full-time.
music your full-time life position?
It is. I teach as well. I teach young kids very introductory music classes, and I have some vocal students as well. So teaching and playing music.
Nico is the other artist who's here. I'll tell you what, Nico, I'll talk to you after this first song, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, so what would you all like to start off with?
This is a tune that was.
Move a little bit closer to the mic.
This is a tune by the band Fish that we've kind of adapted to this outfit.
Okay.
So.
I'm actually wearing my Fish Miami shirt now that I think
Yeah.
about
Oh,
it.
look at that. How fitting.
That was perfect. All right, let's do
Solid
it.
segue.
Sure.
Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter through barriers arranged by you. Close the shutters, draw the shades, filter out the Everglades, glistening with evening dew. Thunder calls through waterfalls, rising tides and ocean walls. I can hear you when you sigh.
ocean walls. I can hear you when you sigh. Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter through the water in the sky. Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter through barriers arranged by you. Close the shutters, draw the shades, filter out the Everglades, glistening with evening dew. Thunder calls through waterfalls, rising tides and ocean walls. I can hear you when you sigh. Listen as she speaks to you. Hear the voices flutter through the water in the sky. Through the water in the sky. Through the water in the sky.
Low Ground, live in the WLRN studio. But I could listen to that all day long. I guess when Fish plays it, you do listen to it all day. What's the version? What's different between that version and the one that Fish does?
Just a couple of things that are adapted from their instrumentation, and one of the first versions I heard, there was more like a ragtime feel. They kind of do it with a slight bluegrass kind of vibe on the album, but yeah, so we just kind of do it this way, and everybody gets a little chance to pick
But
a song.
I'm surprised because that sounds really. I mean, it sounds great, and I'm surprised that you're from South Florida because I'm not used to hearing young folks playing that type of music. So, how did it all come together? How did you all meet?
Oh.
This is a great question.
Yeah.
We kind of met just through music. I know for me and Nico, our time with bluegrass started when he played in a band called The Grass is Dead with Billy Gilmore, and he kind of showed us all about bluegrass. I mean, we knew about it, but we didn't interact with it as much. Neither of us really played it, and we got exposed to going to music festivals and jamming, specifically, like a bluegrass jam, and that whole culture, kind of similar to a jazz jam where everybody knows standards and you can get together and play music with anybody from all over the world, as long as everybody knows, the same tunes or even kind of an idea of the tunes, and that made me really want to be a part of it.
What festivals are you talking about?
Well,
Swanee, mostly.
Maybe here in Florida.
Yeah, and Live Oak at the Roots. The Roots
Swanee Roots
Revival.
Revival,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Which, yeah.
Well, Nico, why did you first start going to those festivals?
I was into the jam band scene in Florida by way of playing electric bass actually in a lot of bands. And then when I got hired to be in Grass is Dead
They do mainly Grateful Dead tunes.
in a bluegrass style.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what got me really exposed to that.
Did you know Grateful Dead music?
Yeah, that's why I got hired. And then bluegrass was like the learning curve of
Uh-huh.
that whole experience. And which eventually led me to be an Uproot Hootenanny, which is a more traditional acoustic Irish bluegrass thing.
They
Which is
were a
where I
great
met
band.
Patty, yeah.
Yeah,
Were
right.
you both an Uproot Hootenanny?
No, but we played
Oh.
a show together, and I met Patty
Yep.
years before we got together
Yeah.
through Low Ground.
Are you still with Uproot Hootenanny?
When they need me occasionally.
We still love them.
Yeah.
Oh, were you surprised? Is bluegrass difficult?
It is because it is a simple music, but simple music
Simple music.
it's easy to comprehend, but it's difficult to execute in real time, especially when you get up to the faster tempos
Oh, yeah.
with the banjo, and everything is very like when a car misfires, it stalls out. It's kind of like everything's really working together to create this very powerful sound that everybody's doing their part to create.
And Nico, so you're playing guitar. Is that your only instrument?
No, I was an electric bass player around Florida since I was a sophomore in high school.
Mhm.
I'm 32 now, so 15 plus years ago.
Did you go to college?
I was enrolled. I signed up.
Also with Low Ground, who's here is Patty, who's playing the violin. Is that your only? Or you play other string instruments?
Yeah.
What is your musical roots?
Well, I grew up jamming with my dad and all of his friends, playing stuff on the sidewalk picking and porch picking kind of stuff.
In Boynton Beach?
Around Jensen Beach is where I grew up, so same coast at least. And we'd play, and I did classical music at the same time to kind of get a good style of. I met some gypsy jazz players, so I got a little jazz, some bluegrass, some Latin stuff.
Do you have a favorite?
Not really.
When he mixes them all together.
Yeah,
that's-
it's whatever ended up with all of that is my favorite. But I really like the minor gypsy kind of music is probably my favorite.
So when you're to take a solo, is it mostly improvisation that you do?
Sure. I mean, there's always licks and things that you learn, different runs and that kind of stuff that gets fused in there. But yeah, typically it's just whatever kind of flows out and is appropriate at the moment.
And Amanda is also part of Low Ground. You're playing this stand-up bass or double bass.
Yeah.
Has that always been your instrument?
I've only been playing bass for about 5 or so years. I was kind of late to the game when it came to learning an instrument. I have been singing my whole life though, but kind of like in secrecy. And then finally I did it publicly and I was like, wow, I really love this. And then I started to
Wait. How'd you do it publicly? What was your coming out?
well,
Ooh.
honestly, it was like I talked about it for a while, and then one night when Nico was still playing with Uproot Hootenanny, we were at the field, and I think it was Mother's Day actually, and they called me up to sing St. James Infirmary, and it's like one of my favorite songs to sing, and I sang it, and everybody loved it, and then from that point on, I was like, wow, I really need to do this, and then flash forward a few years later, I enrolled at Palm Beach State College just to sing in a jazz combo, and amazingly, we have great teachers there. Neil Bacher was one of them. David Gibble and Stephen Scott, who is, a world-renowned pianist and educator. And I just feel so grateful to have crossed paths with these people. I got trained a little bit in singing jazz, and then from that point on, we created Low Ground and just been.
Did you graduate?
Well, I graduated from FAU. I have a degree in philosophy.
Ooh.
So,
But
want to hear my thoughts about life?
But so you're singing now, and you picked up the bass to so you'd be more valuable, I guess.
Yes. Well, I just wanted to play something. I wanted to get more into it, like sink my teeth deeper into it.
I think it would be hard to keep up with these guys.
Well, when you got started, I was getting into the banjo, which I was at the like
Yeah.
that, like really trying to get the finger thing down, and I had the bass at the house, and she picked it up. She just starts going, and it kind of just grew. It kind of evolved from
You
that
started-
very basic,
Oh.
from
From
the
the low
spot,
ground.
from the low ground up.
Yes,
Exactly.
quite literally.
Yeah.
Well, who came up with the name Low Ground?
We were just kind of tossing around ideas with our buddies, because like I said, it started as a jam. Our buddies Ty and Mike, they were kind of a part of it too. We had a group message. We were tossing around ideas, and it just kind of stuck. We chose Low Ground kind of to honor Florida. You know, low to the ground, below sea level. I feel like all folky, not all, but a lot of folk and bluegrass bands are like the mountain something, you know? So it's like, we don't have mountains down here. We might as well, you know,
That's right.
honor what we got.
Well, you're right. Low Ground is better than Swampy. Let's say.
Yeah. And there's a fiddle tune called Billy in the Low Ground, which is one of our favorite tunes to kind of get the thing kind of started. So when I heard it, even though when it was put forth, that wasn't the intention. But when I heard it, I was like, ooh, I like that. Because a lot of I was in another bluegrass band called Justin Mason and Blue Night, and Blue Night is a bluegrass song. So that kind of happens a lot within the formation of bands. Is they'll name it after a song that everybody just kind of got together and played and sounded great, and you know, so that's kind of
That makes
a piece
it good.
of the culture.
So
yeah.
Low Ground has like a tradition to it as well as being Florida.
Yeah.
We have 3 members of Low Ground here: Nikki, Patty, and Amanda. And let's have another tune.
Cool.
What, Peggy?
Sure.
So you didn't plan this? You're just kind of making it up as
No,
you
we
go.
planned. We have a handful of ideas. I think we're gonna do an original next that Nico wrote. Would
What?
you like to say something about it?
Sure. This
Come a little bit closer to the mic, Nico.
one of the festivals that we play twice a year is in Fort Pierce, called the Farm to Grass Music Festival. One's the Mama Linda Festival in February, and then the next one is the Harvest Fest in November.
These are all in Florida?
These are all in
I
Florida.
don't know any of these
Yeah,
festivals.
this one's 300 to 500 people or so, but everybody basically knows each other when they get there, or they definitely know each other by the time they leave. So he has a golf cart with lasers tied to the top, and he drives it around the property, when we're hanging out.
Who is this again? I'm sorry.
Mike Hale.
Okay.
He's
The festival
the fe-
organizer and
yeah.
founder, and one of our really
and our
good friends.
good buddy.
Okay.
Low Ground wouldn't be a thing without his involvement in our lives. But we went on a crazy mud buggy trip, and this is a song that I felt inspired to write. It's called Mud Buggy Cadillac.
Okay, here's Low Ground. Low Ground, live in the WLRN studio with Nico taking most of those guitar leads on that tune. And also we have Patty on mandolin and Amanda on bass. This is just 3/4 of the band, or 3/5. 3/5 of the band, Low Ground. So where do you normally play?
We play all over, mostly Florida right now. We're playing, like last night we played at Lagniappe,
Yes. Yes.
right up the road here. And we play mostly between, I'd say, West Palm and Vero for our, around town gigs. But when it comes to full band, the next place we're playing as a full band is the Peace River Jam in Punta Gorda, Florida. That's the first weekend of June. And we'll be there. Ricky Skaggs is playing, Steel Drivers, whole bunch of Florida
Those are some
bands.
big names.
Yeah.
So when I look at you, I think of David Grisman. You know who David Grisman is,
Yeah.
right? You never met. I assume you've never met him.
I have not.
And I also think of Billy Strings, who's like one of the hottest guys on the circuit today. Have you played? You haven't played with him at all.
I did at the John Hartford Festival in Bean Blossom,
In a
Indiana.
jam.
at
And you went to Bean Blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Bean
Yeah.
You all
Blossom. It
did.
was so awesome.
Where was that? Is that in Tennessee? Where is Bean Blossom?
That's in
Indiana.
Indiana. That's old Bill Monroe's thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and John Hartford's family started throwing him an annual festival, and I don't believe it's there anymore, but when we went, it was the 8th annual, and John Stickley Trio was one of the bands there, and Billy Strings, and we're friends with John Stickley from a long time ago, and he's friends with Billy. So when they were backstage, I think Grass is Dead was on that.
No, Billy was
but
just hanging out.
He was just hanging out. So when that whole thing went on. I was actually, so my bass was on the complete other side of the campground, but there was no bass player. So I went and grabbed it and brought it over. And they're like, "Did he bring his bass from his campsite?" And they're like, "Yeah, he walked it here." And they're like, "Whoa." So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was fun.
What do you consider? I mean, Billy is like he's like the number one guy on the circuit these days. What is it what made him such a star, attracting such big crowds? It seems like such an anomaly.
Well, for one, he's very talented. His whole band is extremely talented. He has a great voice. He found a way to like incorporate bluegrass with like the jam band scene too. So he made his way into the festival scene, which, I mean, it's great for bluegrass. In my opinion, I think it's the perfect time to be playing this music. I'm so happy whenever I see the crowds at his shows. It just like, and it's really something to experience. So if you haven't seen a Billy String show, go see one. If you're interested in seeing a local band that is, playing a similar style of music, come see us and support whoever, your local musicians. And I'm just excited to see people getting into this music again.
No, it's great. So is Low Ground making the Florida festival circuit? You're all going to are you playing at these festivals?
Yeah. We've done a few this year. We just did the Southland Bluegrass Festival at the
Immokalee.
in Immokalee, Florida, at the casino, the Seminole. Is it a Hard Rock Casino?
No, it's just this. It's
No,
just
it was just the Seminole Casino.
Okay.
And that was a fun one. Del McCurry played, and he's one of my favorite performers to see. I literally, people were trying to talk to me in between songs. I'm like, no, I want to hear the stories.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for the stories.
Oh, great. So you're all real bluegrass fans then.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I came to it later in life, but I love the music. I love the history of music. I love the current players, and happy to.
And you're from South Florida. So it's, to me, that's even a special, even more special. So it's great having Low Ground here in the studio. Is there a website or how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, lowgroundband.com has all of our information. We are on social media as well, Facebook, Instagram. We have a few videos up on YouTube. And if you go to the website, you can keep in touch with us.
So the thing you would like most is to get booked at shows. Is that where most of your income comes from?
Yes. I mean, most of our income does come from playing shows, I'd say.
Yeah.
But we also love the music, so I think this summer in particular, we're looking forward to spending time just working together as a band to develop our sound even more and kind of come up with a game plan moving forward.
How exciting. How exciting. Low Ground is here in the studio. Well, let's have one more song, okay?
What do you think? Cover, or do you want to do the other original?
Let's do the original.
Good.
This one was written.
What was the cover? I'm just curious.
We were going to do Minor Swing.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a Grisman, right? Is that
Grisman did it. It's a Django tune originally,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Okay. And what's this one? This is the original one.
Yeah, this one was written.
Yeah, you gotta move up.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This one was written by Mike Hale from the Farm to Grass Music Festival. He writes songs and plays, and that's how we met and hung out with him for years. And Amanda's gonna sing this one. This one's called Just Another Heartache.
There's Low Ground.
It's just another heartache that's killing me. I'm doing all I can do, but it's hard to see that it is my time to run and hide before I'm doing all I can do, but it's hard to see that it is my time to run and fight before he finds me, and it's my own life that I'm trying to save from winding vines. They grow in and out of all your lives. You've got my back to the wall, you see. You never let the pressure off of me. I wanna lose my mind night after night, and this time I had to leave. You've got my back to the wall, you see. You never let the pressure off of me. I wanna lose my mind night after night, and this time I had to leave. You've got my back to the wall, you see. You never let the pressure off of me. I wanna lose my mind night after night, and this time I had to leave. 'Cause it's just another heartache that's killing me.
Low Ground, live in the WLRN studio. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. So is that on the album? Is that going to be recorded?
Well, you know, we're still working out. We haven't recorded an album yet. We're still working that out. And I would hope that we would record that one. That's definitely one of my favorites.
Okay.
And it's one of our friends wrote it, so yeah.
Excellent. Well, good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Low Ground in the studio, and I appreciate you coming by, and look forward to the next time. Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
This is Folk and Acoustic Music. My name is Michael Stock, here every Sunday afternoon on 91.3 WLRN and HD1 Miami Fort Lauderdale, 91.5 WKWM and HD1 Marathon Key West, 105.5 WOLL HD2 Hope Sound, and 101.9 NPR for the Palm Beaches. We have one more hour to go. We're going to start it with Public Storyteller, and then we're going to celebrate Bob Dylan's birthday. Michael Weiskopf is here.
Will shift all travel
All right.
lanes along the